Miss Wales gone down to the office because she's got a few things that she needs to do. She knows I'm here today, and my name is Sapphire Popoff, and I'm a journalist from the Yorkshire Evening Post. Put your hands up if you know the Yorkshire Evening Post. Some of you might even have read the Yorkshire Evening Post.
I read it last night.
Right, well, I heard that last week there was a murder at your school, is that right?
Yes. Wainwright.
And that is why they've sent me here today from the Yorkshire Post, because they want us to do a report for their newspaper, because we've been hearing just how good 4W are at writing newspaper reports. In fact, I've heard that you've been writing your own newspapers, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've come down today from the Yorkshire Post to ask you to write me a newspaper report about the murder of Mrs. Wainwright last week in your school. Now, we had some interesting characters as well in last week apparently, who came back to your school for a reunion, is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. And I think they managed to solve the crime, didn't they? They managed to find out who had done it. Now, do you think you can write me a newspaper report?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so what do we need to do before we start writing our report?
First we have to draft our report.
That's right, we need to draft our report first before we do our published copy, don't we? Because often when I'm down at the Yorkshire Post, I might draft my report 2 or even 3 or 4 times before I actually do my main copy. What do we need to do though before we start drafting? Alice?
We have to make notes.
We have to make notes first. And have you been making notes in a special way, Mrs. Wales been telling me? How have you been doing that, Beth?
We've been using the 5 W's and a H sheet.
Excellent. You've been using the 5 W's and the H sheet. So do you think that's a really good place for us to start this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
And you all remember? Do you remember what happened?
Yes.
Or remember who was involved?
Yes.
Can you remember when it happened?
Yes.
Excellent. I don't think I need to say any more then, children. 4W. Miss Wales was right. You are very good at writing reports. Do you want to start on your report now then?
Yeah.
Okay. Make a start on your notes, please. So what are you doing, Adam, at the moment?
We're writing as 5 W's for a report on the murder of Mrs. Wainwright.
And would you like to tell everyone what you've done on your 5 W's?
Well, I've done who's in it, Mrs. Wainwright and Pinky the cowgirl, and I've done what is it, the murder and the party, and why, because there were 2 hard spellings and homework, and it were on Thursday 19th of May around 9:30, and it ring the school library, and she was strangled with a scarf in the library.
Elena, would you like to share what you've done this morning with your 5 W's?
Well, for who I've done Mrs. Wainwright, Alex Zhang, Pinky the cowgirl and Lauren Kamar, and Mrs. Pushington and the 4W for Old Cass. Mrs. Wainwright got murdered and there was a big party, even with some crisps, with our old school friends. Why? Because Pinky hated Mrs. Wainwright. She said she gave us really hard spellings and the books the books were too long. They were 23 pages. We were only at receptions and the homework was ridiculous. When did it happen? Thursday the 19th of May 2011 between 9:30 and 10:45 a.m. Where did it take place? Leeds, Gilderson Primary School in the library. How did it happen? Because Pinky did not like her and she got strangled with her own blue scarf.